Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. You know, there are certain expressions that I use that have become, kind of popular when I'm narrating these videos, and there's one in particular that I think I'm probably quite well known for, but I don't really use it very often. And I'm not talking about "that's a paddling," although that is another one that I can't remember using in a while. And it's not as if I haven't had the opportunity to use that. But the expression that I'm thinking about here, there haven't really been that many situations where using it would have been appropriate recently. Today, that is all going to change. Iron Hole here, and his name, when you see what he gets up to in this battle, is incredibly appropriate. He's a fan of a certain expression that I used to use on a fairly regular basis. And he's going to be giving me plenty of opportunities to use it again today. I wonder if you can guess what it is. Anyway. So, what have we got here? Well, it's a Tier 10 domination battle here on the Haven map. No carriers, hooray! 2 submarines though. Oh well, could be worse. As you can tell by the way he's panning the camera around his ship here in loving detail, Ironhole really likes the look of his ship, the Italian Tier 10 heavy cruiser, the Napoli. And it is a very pretty ship. It's also a very good ship. It's also completely unlike all of the other Italian cruisers, which is kind of strange. You see, the Italian cruisers in World of Warships are known for a few things. They tend to be very fast. And the Napoli is very fast. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering why he was focusing on the friendly Benson over there, somebody in chat is already calling out for the Benson to be reported for being AFK. And as you saw, the Benson hasn't even fired up his engines yet. He is, in fact, AFK. I think it's a bit early in the battle to actually report him for being AFK, though, and other players on the team would seem to agree. But you know what? I mean, if you report somebody for being AFK, as long as it's just a one-off thing, I mean, anything can happen. Maybe somebody rings at your front door right as the battle starts, or there's some kind of domestic emergency you need to attend to. And a bunch of people on the team report you for being AFK. It's not going to hurt you. Not if it just happens in one battle. Even if the entire team report you for being AFK, in one battle, it's not going to matter. If you make a habit out of it, if you're constantly AFK, battle after battle after battle, then eventually the accumulated reports will result in some kind of account punishment, but in one battle it's absolutely fine. So anyway, the Napoli, not like other Italian heavy cruisers. I mean, it's fast, as are a lot of the other Italian cruisers. It's got a high-speed smoke generator, just like a lot, if not most, of the other Italian cruisers. But the Italian cruisers are probably mostly known for their semi-armor piercing ammunition, which basically functions like high explosive but with much higher penetration that won't set fires. The Napoli, oh, that's some good depth charges by the way, right on top of that sonar ping. Yep, that guy's about to be in a world of hurt. Yep, there are the hits. Good stuff. He's going to have to start shooting. I will eventually finish what I was saying about the Napoli and why it's different to other Italian cruisers. That guy is actually at periscope depth and can be hit. Oh, and in fact, there it is. Fire set. That's the primary difference between the Napoli and pretty much every other Italian cruiser in the game. It does get high explosive shells. It does not get semi-armor piercing. Well, it kind of does and it kind of doesn't, but the main batteries definitely do not fire semi-armor piercing. Note that he's popped the high-speed smoke here in order to stay undetected and therefore not get reset while flipping this cap after the submarine came around the corner at periscope depth and potentially was going to spot him. So smart move there. And he has managed to take this cap circle, putting the team ahead. Well, the Montana score on the first kill has also helped put the team ahead, but they now have 2 caps to the enemy's 1. And the cap circle at Bravo is currently uncontested, so it's up for grabs. Anybody can take it. He's been radared, but this is fine. There is absolutely nobody in a position to shoot at him here. Looks like the enemy Cleveland over there is the one with the radar. Oh, speaking of Cleveland's, that's the team's first casualty. The enemy Castillo has scored the enemy team's first kill, knocking out one of the team's radars. You really don't want to get spotted here with a Yamato over there. Oh, and the team have just lost one of their submarines. Well, so much for an early lead. The enemy team are now ahead on points, although they're still down by one cap circle. That Spanish cruiser, the Castilla, has just rocked up his second kill. I can draw your attention to the southwest corner of the map, as Ironhull is heading in that direction while keeping a wary eye on the Yamato over there, and heading in the direction of the completely uncontested cap circle Bravo. There is a detected enemy submarine down in that cluster of friendly ships. It's the enemy Gato. You would be astonished at how long that guy stays alive without getting sunk, with a whole bunch of Ironhull's team sitting right on top of him. Meanwhile, the Benson is no longer AFK, but he is the last surviving member of the team up on the northeastern end of the map, and they're all going to start blaming him for their collective failure. Meanwhile, Ironhull, with the high explosive loaded because he wanted to finish off the Zao, was suddenly presented with the big fat juicy broadsides of the Des Moines and the Slava. If he'd only had the armor piercing loaded, but it was important that the Zao died. The Zao has been finished off by the Yamato. Now, what's important to note here is that he obviously got spotted when he opened up on the Zao. The Zao saw him, the Des Moines saw him, the Slava saw him. They all know he's here, they all know he's coming, and if he hadn't already given them enough warning, they now all know that he's in the cap circle. And just in case he hadn't telegraphed his intentions enough, he's about to get spotted by the Forest Sherman as well, although he's keeping an eye open on the Yamato, who did just attempt to get some shots into him from across the map right after the Benson died. So these are the only surviving members of the team. They're all down here at the southern end of the map. And while the team are still one kill behind, that St. Louis is on very, very low health and has just been sunk. The Montana over there doesn't look like he's going to survive those torpedoes, although you never know your luck. No, he's dead too. So the team are now ahead on points. They also have 2 of the 3 cap circles, although the enemy ships pushing down from the northeast are flipping the cap circle at Charlie, but Ironhull is here waiting patiently to flip this cap circle at Bravo before he makes his move. Oh, in other news, the enemy Gato, the Tier 10 American submarine, the one that I pointed out ages ago, has finally been depth charged and sunk by the friendly Khabarovsk. And with this cap circle at Bravo now under his belt, that's his second cap, by the way, in a heavy cruiser, Ironhull is now ready to make his move. And he's been spotted. It's the Cleveland. Don't need to worry about the Cleveland. You're about to put an island between yourself and him. You might want to worry about that Forest Sherman, though. Now, we had the armor piercing loaded in anticipation of having to deal with the Des Moines and the Slava. I think he forgot that the Forest Sherman was there, but he's switching to the high explosive. His secondaries are opening up. It's another difference, by the way, with the Napoli. Earlier I said it kind of does and kind of doesn't get semi-armor piercing ammunition. It definitely doesn't get semi-armor piercing on its main battery guns. It gets high explosive, which is real bad news for the Forest Sherman. But it does get semi-armor piercing secondaries, which is also really bad news for the Forest Sherman. Oh, and here it comes. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. There go the torpedoes. There's the Slava. There's the surprise butt sex. Best kind of butt sex. And he's got a heavy dose of it for the Des Moines too. I mean, the Des Moines is a fearsome ship, but most of the guns are at the front, so he only really has the rear turret here to worry about. Now, he's about to reload, but he's going to hold his fire to ensure he gets as much broadside as possible. It does mean that the Des Moines gets 1 salvo off, but 1 is all it's ever going to get. There we go. Yet more. And there should be absolutely nothing surprising about this butt sex, by the way. They all should have known he was coming, but they didn't for some strange reason. So surprise butt sex it is. There he is in chat. He even warned them the butt sex was coming. Surprise, surprise. Here it comes. Ready or not. With or without lubrication, there is going to be butt sex. And by God, there was. They should have seen him. Well, technically, they did see him coming. Technically, you could say that he came all over them. And that was also, in fact, a paddling. Oh, you know, the only thing missing from this battle is the presence of the French cruiser, the Brest. Then I could make Brest jokes as well. Oh well, you can't have it all. We're just going to have to be happy with multiple doses of surprise butt sex and Iron Hole. I told you his name was going to be appropriate. I'm going to need a minute here. Oh, and he got the Close Quarters Expert Award. It was actually the secondaries that finished off the Des Moines, because that's the other good thing about the Napoli. I mean, I was saying, and I'll keep saying, but I'll eventually get to the point, it does actually get semi-armor piercing, but only on its secondaries. And that's the thing about Italian battleships and cruisers. They tend to have lots and lots of secondaries, and they're all totally useless, because they're such low caliber, the high explosive shells that they fire can't even damage destroyers, and all they're really good for is setting fires. Well, that's never going to happen with the Napoli, because it doesn't fire high explosive from its secondaries. But it can fire high explosive from its main gun batteries, so, you know, there's your fires taken care of. And also, main battery semi-armor piercing only does 10% of its potential damage to destroyers, but high explosive does full damage. And the semi-armor piercing secondaries, because they're semi-armor piercing, they have higher penetration values than high explosive shells of the same caliber. So while they ain't going to set fires, they can actually damage destroyers, and some light cruisers too. So it's basically unheard of to get a close quarters expert. I mean, it's not impossible, it's just extremely unlikely that in any other Italian cruiser or battleship, for that matter, you're ever going to get a close quarters expert award by scoring a kill in your secondaries. But the Napoli can. In fact, he's not finished. 3 enemy ships left. The Castilla over there, he's on 3 kills. He's also on low health. Iron Hole coming around the corner, detected by Hydro. Probably means there are going to be torpedoes waiting for him. So he slows and he turns, and sure enough, there are the torpedoes. It's time for another dose of butt sex. Not surprise butt sex this time, but butt sex is butt sex. He always lost a gun turret, that's bad. Oh, the Castilla's turning. He's probably trying to get the torpedoes away from the other side. Under the circumstances, his best possible chance, maybe not of survival, but at least of scoring another kill. Yep, there they are. Okay, Iron Hole is going to take... Actually, only one of them. That's not bad at all. Now, there's... and it's another secondary kill. And another dose of, not very surprising this time, butt sex. Oh, I've missed this. It was also another paddling. And that just leaves the Yamato who's getting paddled from every direction. There is no possible way they're going to lose this. In fact, if they just hang on for another minute, they're going to win on points. No 0 pointing the enemy team this time, of course. Certainly not thanks to the efforts of the Castilla there, who managed to get 3 and nearly managed to get 4 kills, and probably would have if Iron Hole hadn't been paying attention to the fact that the Castilla clearly knew he was coming around the corner. Can this be a Kraken unleashed? Shots out. No. Oh, well, fine. Iron Hole's just going to have to settle for multiple doses of surprise butt sex. 2 in an Italian cruiser. Close Quarters Expert Awards. Nearly 1 million credits earned and 129,000 damage done. Iron Hole. Still can't get over how appropriate his name is. Iron Hole in the Napoli. Having way more fun than anybody should be allowed to playing World of Warships, while simultaneously committing multiple disgusting acts of perversion that would probably be enough to get him arrested in at least 30 states. I salute you, sir. And I hope you all enjoyed watching it, because that's it for today. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.